This time on low boost, we start turning this Corvette from a street car into a track car.
Sometimes safety and maintenance is just as important as performance. So what I'm going to do in this car, because it's old, I'm actually going to upgrade the brake lines to braided brake lines. It is a great safety option because they have less of a chance of a failure, and a lot of people say you get better pedal feel from it. So let's get to it. The wheels on this thing have not been taken off in a long time, so this was not very easy to get off, but some massaging and working with a hammer, it came off after a little bit of work.
I'm going to definitely use some anti-seize to put these back on. Tread-on these are in really good shape. I'm just going to use them on the street though. So I'm going to do a couple of things. Obviously, I'm going to inspect the pads, which actually don't look to be in terrible shape. I don't know if you can see from there. We're going to unhook from here and there and replace our brake line there. Then I'm actually going to adjust here our ride height. So we're actually going to do that. We're going to raise it up just a little bit. So we'll just kind of take it from there. What we'll do here is I'm going to adjust the ride height for the front. Just because it's really close, the car rubs and drags. So I got a jack with some of my quick jack rubbers on the end of it. And I'm just going to put up the leaf spring just a little bit. Just a little bit. Then with a 10mm, I'm gonna actually turn this clockwise, but I gotta remember how many times I turned it so I can do the same on the other side. So about, oh shit, this is pretty tough. I'll put the camera down for this. These are the wilwood disc brake stainless steel lines. You don't need wilwoods for it, but there's the part number and everything, and I'll put a link in the description below to where I got these. But they're heavy duty. Supposedly we'll get some better pedal feel, especially if these are shot, a little bit better pedal response. But these are gonna hold up to a lot better, more heat, especially when we're out there lap after lap at the track. Took a 13mm wrench here. I'm gonna disconnect the brake line. Got a bucket down below to catch all our shit, because it's gonna make a mess. It's always hard to do it in one hand, but it's hard to get a tripod here to show you guys the right angle anyway. But 13mm up here too. So there's the old one. It's not in bad shape, but you know, if I'm gonna be beating the crap out of this thing, breaking deep into turns, I'm gonna want something better. So this will actually clip onto there, and then this will go in with a fitting inside. So let's get started on that. I actually found it easier to put it in a vise to actually get the clip out, because you know these things can kind of be a pain in the dick. That just popped out easily like that, and we'll put the new one on, whatever, this will clean it up. And this side goes up, and it goes in there, just like that. We're good. To pop that clamp off, clip off, and put the new one on. And this actually is much freer moving, so this is going to be a lot easier to deal with. It's bring it back in the car. So that is bolted back up. Then you got one of these things here that screw on with this end fitted down into here where the old one was, and then this will actually feed right onto there. So I'm gonna hook everything back up and repeat that on the other side, and then we'll work our way to the back. So these brakes are actually the same as the Z06 brakes. They just have different pads. So by upgrading the pads, you effectively have the same brakes you'd get on a C5 Z06. So, but the rest of the brake line upgrade looks pretty good. I mean, I made a little bit of a mess, but not too bad. So, all right, let's go to the other side now. Almost forgot to mention, I took out the old original bleeder here because we're gonna get some speed bleeders. So these ones you see here, it says they're supposedly for an STI, what I saw online, but it's the same thing. So these are the speed bleeders we're gonna put in, and this will help us with bleeding in the future. Took these off and just noticed this inner fender well has seen some rubbing because those old wheels and tires were way too tall. And then I bring it over here, I noticed this whole one is missing. So I'm gonna have to get new inner fender wells. These are, what are they? They're 275 4018, and these should be 275 30 or 275 4019. They should be 275 3019. So they're way too tall. The other tires I'll have are actually make the car faster, believe it or not, because they're smaller. Notice that this hub was cut and sliced, and they put this spacer on for the other wheels. I don't know if I trust that to track it. Probably fine on the street, but I might have to get new hubs, and I gotta kind of look up and see what the actual way to get different studs for that are, because they cut them out. But onto the brakes, the actual longer brake lines go to the rear. There's a bolt here you undo, and then over here we're gonna have to move this out of the way and get all that out there, and that's how we're going to get all that off. So stay tuned. You wanna do brake lines? Braided brake lines? No? $10mm. This is gonna take off that bracket. And this one here, also a 10mm. So this basically drops almost the whole thing out. You almost don't even need to take that off. This should be able to just come right out, just like that. And then we're gonna undo that clip, just like we did with the front. Much easier to do without the camera. Literally holding this. Boom. It pops out. There's the old one. So with that on, just tighten that one back down. And this one here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this on first. Just like finger tight, then I'll tighten this one down permanently, and then I'll tighten that one back up. That way it'll alleviate any issues I have with play between the two and line them up where I want them. All right, so here's the deal. All the brake lines are now in the car. Everything's ready to go. I do still have to wait for my RTF 600 to come in to bleed the whole brake system. Now my speed bleeder should be pretty easy, but I gotta figure out what I gotta do with this. So let me know in the comments if you know if this is safe to be tracked, or if you think that I should do something else, or if I have to get a whole new hub to replace, because these are actually cut down pretty far. So I can't actually put lug nuts back on those. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you guys think I did a good job at this, or if there's something I could have covered better to make it easier for you guys to learn and do it yourself. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.